I am now live. And now all I need to do is ping folks on the Discord saying that I'm live, and they can
Yeah,
tell me if I'm doing a bad job or not, or if
yeah.
something's borked.
If something's fucky, yeah.
Okay, so will I be able to see chat this way? Is there a way to make, because that is a slightly important part of the thing.
Yeah.
Okay, I can pop out the
Because
chat.
there's
That's something. I can shrink in the chat. Hey, there's a human. Hi, human.
we have people.
We theoretically have people.
We have person.
We have person. Um, person, can I be heard? Is everything good? Is everything running? Oh, hi, Mishra. Is everything running? Is everything doing? Are things happening? You know what? There's maybe a way that I can. I don't know. I want to go full screen. I don't have another monitor, which is a bit of the issue. So I kind of want to go full screen.
Yeah.
Is there a way that I can access the chat? I guess I could. I could do. I could spectate my own stream, and then I just mute the stream on my phone, and then I can access the chat on my phone. Maybe. Um. Is that actually how it does? I don't have the YouTube app. I'm sad to say. So, I'm not 100% sure that's how.
Yeah.
Maybe I just cave and I download the YouTube app and then maybe I can access chat from there.
That would make sense.
Okay. Hey, we technically have 5 minutes until the stream's officially supposed to start, so you know.
Indeed. I just finished my Pioneer game.
Hell yeah. Okay. So, I guess for now, I'm gonna just have this awkward thing. Oh, hi. Yes,
Yeah.
the browser window's right now very cropped. It's weird. Oh yeah, so it is kind of cropped just because I'm on a smaller I'm on a smaller monitor, so it's going to look a little bit cropped on your end. I hope that's
Right.
okay. I don't think it should matter all that much. You should be able to just see everything. It's just going to be a little cropped.
Yeah.
Um and right now it
Yeah.
looks
That should be
messy
good.
and I will unmess it. But that's mostly because I'm figuring out how to both access chat and go to into full screen. So, that at the very least will be
Yeah.
fine. Okay. I can officially access chat. Let's go. Okay. So, at this point,
Perfect.
I should be able to go into full screen. Okay. We currently have a beautiful 4 people. Uh, but we gotta start somewhere. Um,
Wonderful.
so the way this is gonna work is obviously me and Esper over here. If if you guys are, if there one of you 4 viewers are not on the Discord and are not familiar with us, um, I'm the Cosmarian. I'm the person that was doing the voiceover for the first video that we made. Um, and this human is Esper, who is another human, and they're cool.
Hello there. I'm Esper.
Yeah.
I'm going to be doing more YouTube stuff. I'm around. Hey there. How you freaks?
Hey. Okay. We now have 5 people. Let's go. So, the way this is gonna work, we're gonna have we have this little tier list. We have 87 different cards. If need be, I can pop out and like basically again, it kind of has to be awkward and basically go here to, but then you get to see all my tabs and stuff, which I don't know if you want to see all my tabs and stuff. Look at all these bookmarks that I have. I have too many bookmarks.
Yeah, Virginia's community.
Yeah, I'm definitely not in Virginia and definitely not in a community college. Don't worry about it.
Crazy. Yeah.
But
yeah.
Yeah, that's currently how it is. Is there a way to hide my bookmarks right now so that people are less distracted by them? Aha! Let's go. Hell yeah, there we go. No bookmarks for you. And then you'll see my tabs, I guess.
Perfect.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I think this is okay. I can technically, if I really want to. I think I can also hide the tabs, which feels super unnecessary, but...
Yeah, it should be fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Okay. So, we got these tiers. And we got cards, and we're going to put the cards on tiers. Yeah, win rate tracking.
Yeah.
But basically, you know what? I'm just now realizing that maybe the 5th person is me clicking onto it. Oh, there's now 4 people. Okay. I'm just not gonna pay attention to our pitiful view rate right now. It'll get there.
Oh, that's fine.
I'm sure.
Yeah, that's fine.
So we're gonna be ranking things. The top tier's got legs. It is basically, this is the potentially competitive tier. It could be competitive. We'll find out. I can't say it's definitely competitive because these cards have not really been tested. Some of them have been semi-tested, but not tested enough for us to know if it's actually meta or not. So this is potentially meta. It's got legs because it got legs. Willing to be convinced is, you know what, I could see this being meta. It is potentially meta, is what this tier is essentially. So it could be meta. I currently don't think it's probable, but I'm willing to be convinced otherwise.
Yeah, those 2 tiers are the ones I'm expecting to see mostly in the weekly Tiny Brawl. You guys should go play in that if you're not.
Yeah. And then Seems Fun is, like, not really competitive. However, it's a fun mechanic, fun build around, good stuff.
That's for the goofy ones.
If you really want to, is the tier where if you love this character to bits or something, you know, there are better options probably, but you know, it's not a terrible effect. It's still in the
it won't be
casual
embarrassing to play those cards.
Yeah.
They'll still be around.
They'll be there.
No, here is the tier where just don't play them.
It either
even if they're your favorite character, it's just there's no reason.
Yeah, it's basically the tier of either this does not work as a commander, or there are so many better options that you'd be kind of stupid to do it.
It'd be a bit strange of a choice.
Yes. So that's the tiers. This is the reason why it's not like S tier, A tier, whatever the heck, is because this is by no means an official like ranking of things. This is just a for fun tier list thing because there's 87 new commanders, which is an insane amount, and so here we are ranking them. But yeah. So
yeah.
Yep, Xanderfuss, I wish you luck. We're probably going to be talking a bit about the meta. Um, Although at this point, given that it's a new set and every new set changes the meta, and so, meta shmeta.
Yeah.
So, the first card is Sid. I'm just jumping right into it after how many
Alrighty.
minutes. So, Sid is a card. It is a cheapifying effect on equipment and vehicles. It has flying on your turn, and it has some weird reanimate effect.
Yeah, the most powerful part here is definitely the return effect. That's real card advantage.
Yes.
It can be activated potentially every turn.
Yeah.
Equipment and vehicles are not too plentiful in the format right now.
Not really.
2 minutes 2/2 stat line isn't. It's not bad, but it's not great.
Yeah, I don't like that it's a tap ability to do it, because that means you're not going to do it on your turn. On the first turn,
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah, I feel like, especially being mono white, I don't feel like this guy is definitely not going to be too good.
No, I think.
But I feel like this is definitely a card you could play.
I think it's
especially if you want to play.
I could see it.
Yeah.
I could see it as a fun, like, casual brew. I don't think it's going to be competitive.
For sure.
Second card.
That'd be Elena.
So, when Elena enters, return a non-assassin historic card from graveyard to hand. That's something. Whenever you cast a historic spell,
that's card advantage.
Yeah, it's card advantage. 1/4 is not a bad body. Getting bigger on historic spells is not terrible.
This card seems like it would be decent as a main deck card for something like Doran. Or maybe one of the food hobbits.
The immediate card I think of is Extraction Specialist, which I feel like is better in most cases.
Yeah, though this one can't pick up a 3-drop. This
is true. This is true.
Big thing.
And historic spells means like artifacts and stuff as well. So
this is true. You can get back a bottle, get back your Shadow Spear.
I personally I don't think this is a particularly interesting build around, and I also don't think it's a particularly good card for as a commander. I can see it in the 49, but this is not a ranking the 49 cards in the 49.
Yeah, this is
ranking commander.
This is a card I could certainly see seeing a bit of play at some point, not as commander.
Not as commander.
Especially when Yoshimaru exists.
Yes. Yeah. I would put this in there if you really want to tier, like it's not a terrible card by any means, You
certainly could play it.
It is a card.
There's nothing stopping you from playing it.
Yeah, it's just not a fun build around, and it's not particularly interesting. It does something technically. Love playing up with the card is bad. Yeah. Yep. Third card.
Onto Gata and Luzu.
Yes. 3 mana, 1/1 flash. When it enters, choose a creature you control. If damage would be dealt to that creature, prevent that damage and put that many counters on it. This goes infinite with Walking Ballista, which is pretty cool.
That is true.
It is.
Yeah.
I think that's the only interesting thing about this card.
Though it's also not even a proper combo because the end result is exactly the same.
You would need to have either put lifelink on it, which then you'd gain infinite life. Or
I think there's like a random commander. Yeah, there's also like a random commander legend sword that I think will let it deal damage when it's hit to a person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a standard.
The ability to jump in and eat a lightning bolt for another guy and give it 3 counters is nice. Especially as commander, it's so telegraphed that you'll never get that off.
Yeah, I think this is. I
it
think this goes in
has
the
some
same
interesting
tiers.
synergy.
Elena.
Yeah, especially with Ballista, making it kind of interesting.
Yeah,
but it's not good.
It's kind of interesting, but I don't think this is just like enough of a build around to make it an interesting commander to build. But you know what? By the way, I know nothing about Final Fantasy, so. Oh, you're so right.
I also do not know.
That's hilarious. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
If it was legal and standard, it could maybe be a standard card.
That'd be kind of interesting, but yeah.
But
might even be too good for standard.
I know nothing about Final Fantasy, so when I say like something like, "Hey, if you really like Gata and Luzu, and you love them to bits, you could technically run this as a commander in a casual game." I have no idea if Gata and Luzu are interesting characters, people that were mentioned once, people that has like any amount of a fan base for. I got no clue.
No idea. Well, we're not sure we're going to pronounce all the names right.
Yes.
Especially with our next guy,
whoever that
Lord Giskel Guado.
What is the first letter of that?
L.
L? Cool.
Lord Giskel Guado.
There we go. Okay, so flying, 2-mana, 2/1 flying. I do like my 2-drop commanders. At the beginning of each
2-mana, 2/1 flyings are good.
If you put a counter on a creature this turn, investigate. It's interesting.
So, kind of interesting, yeah. If they toss like green-white instead of mono-white, I could definitely see this seeing a bit of play.
Yeah.
As it stands, mono-white is not great at putting counters on creatures. At least its good cards don't really do that. So it's like Guided Souls.
Also,
a 2-mana 2/1 flying is a great stat line, and it gives card draw, which I do like.
By the way, Esper, your mic is fuzzing out a bit. Like, I can hear you, but it could be higher quality.
Let me check something.
Yeah, it's just a bit staticky and flickery.
Testing.
Whoa, that's way better. Yeah.
Beautiful.
All right.
My apologies.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Giskel Guado. I don't put him in Seems fun.
Okay.
Just based on his advantage.
Yeah,
it's just actually getting him to actually give cards.
Yeah, if you want a funky 2-mana white build around commander, Felia's there and legitimately probably competitively viable.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that you would think about, if you really want like the funky wonky counter synergy, clue synergy, Lonis is great.
Yeah.
So that's my.
It does put you in Simic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I could see.
Yeah,
like,
Giskel's.
Yeah.
It's somewhere in those two.
Hey, okay. Also, I just realized I closed the tab. That's fine.
Oh, perfect.
Look at all that. Okay. Nope. I kind of need the more important one. There we go.
There we go.
Okay. The next one is the Catboy. I'm not gonna pronounce that. It's
Rahatia.
Yeah.
It's the Catboy.
The Catboy.
Alrighty.
Does it look competitive?
So
not really, but I'm willing to be convinced, honestly, because it's not bad.
So Esper Control Commander, those have proven good. Esper Control is a decent archetype, but generally run on Aminatou, who gives certain value every turn, right?
Yeah.
This card is a creature that dies to removal as just the baseline, where Aminatou will always get a trigger.
Mm-hmm.
Also, paying life in your Esper deck isn't great. You don't want to burn off your life, especially because paying high amounts of life is how you get the 4/4s.
Yeah,
instead of smaller ones.
but like,
I could see it happening.
yeah,
I could see something good happening out of Graha.
I feel like hard control
I don't.
is not bad.
Yeah. Yeah, this one probably lends itself more towards tempo than control, given the
Yeah.
life ping.
Yeah, I like
There's
that force
yeah.
of negation turns into board advantage, which is good.
Yeah. No, cards like Force of Negation, Dismember, if you can pay the
Yeah.
7 life.
Yep, that's fine. Don't worry about it.
Mystical Dispute is great in this deck. I believe there's like a white card that deals 4 damage to a creature and you gain 2 life, and it costs 2 less.
Good old Ocelot Pride is
There's certainly some cards out there that are
very
quite
fun.
good. Ocelot Pride for sure.
Or Guide
Yeah,
of Soul,
both
just
gives
like,
life. Yep. Don't close that tab.
Yep. I know how to do things. Don't worry about it.
Gives life. Copies the tokens. Works with Graha's lifelink.
Yep. I know
There's
that,
certainly some synergies there.
I know that Aminato is definitely going to build this. And when we say Aminato,
Some people are certainly going to build it.
Yeah.
Helix.
Yeah.
I would not
So,
be
yeah.
shocked if I see them a couple times in the weekly Tiny Brawl. I
Yeah.
don't expect them to be properly good, though.
No, but I mean, 3 colors. You could only be so bad when you have 3 colors in you. So
Yep.
I'm willing to be convinced. I don't think it's likely to be competitive, but you know what? There's a world. It does interesting things. It's in good colors. Who knows?
Yep.
This is Tataru, right? Taru. Cool.
The Taru.
Tataru. In this, we got a funky thing.
Yeah.
It's not nothing.
Yeah. ETB, both players draw. Her target opponent may draw a card. I believe that's their choice. Yeah. And if they draw, make a treasure.
Mm-hmm. It's like
Yeah.
drastically worse Orcish Bowmaster.
It's a 2-mana 0/3 that gives both players a card and makes you a treasure.
Yeah. Even as like a Hate Bears
Which is
commander, something
Yeah.
Staxy, it's not really interesting.
Yeah, this one definitely isn't it.
Yeah, like I'm gonna
this
put it
is
in if you really want.
Certainly much more of a commander card.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like this might be our first no. Because honestly, just giving your opponent a card for such little payoff.
Yeah, maybe.
It does block all right.
Yeah.
I can't really imagine a deck here playing this card.
I think that's fair. I think if you're in a more casual environment and you're playing multiplayer, maybe, but
Yeah.
that's
Multiplayer formats is definitely where that card is more likely to do something.
Yeah.
Especially given the politics of giving target player a card.
Yep.
That becomes
Ooh,
really a positive effect there. But
can I just like
certainly
zoom
not
in?
here.
Is this readable?
Oh, that
this is
works.
readable. There we go.
That is readable.
Yeah, let's do that. We got Lulu. Lulu exists.
Yeah.
Whenever
Creature attacking you.
put a stun counter on it. That's such a mid effect for 3 mana.
Yeah.
4 mana proliferate.
Because that creature is still attacking. 4 mana proliferate is something, especially if you're playing against a deck that only plays a couple creatures. You lock them down after they hit you once, and then you can just keep proliferating.
What is that card?
But against those decks, you're also not going to have Lulu stick.
Yeah, I mean, like, you could Training Grounds that. Like, make it 2 mana proliferate. That's something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think
It was,
I don't think this is an interesting enough.
I think there was a card, Goldberry, I think was in a kind of similar space. Yeah,
Yeah.
where it's a mono blue kind of counters commander.
Yeah, I think
But
Goldberry's a
Goldberry
more...
does quite a bit more.
Yeah, I think she's a more interesting build around. So I think
Yeah,
I'm
I
taking...
don't imagine Lulu doing too much, but yeah, if you want to, there's certainly some space to play
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah. There's something going on there. Okay, Oaka, Traveling
Yeah,
Merchant.
pretty. Owaka Traveling Merchant.
I mean, 2 drop. 2 drop is nice. Remove a counter from a non-land
2 drop good.
permanent. Draw a card. Um,
So that effect is historically very good with Urza Saga,
yeah,
where you get
that is
an
true.
artifact tutor, put it back down, get another construct.
Yeah, like, I mean, I like Hex
There's a
Parasite, but yeah.
few mono blue sagas. I don't think too many that have strong effects. And I don't think there's much for Owaka to do after sagas.
Yeah, let's see. Are there any interesting sagas going on? Unearthly Child,
Yeah.
bad.
Ballad of the Black Flag.
You already have enough of those effects. I don't think you need more of those. Are you able to?
Yeah, but 2 card draw.
You are able to do it in response.
Yes, after the last chapter goes on stack, you can remove the counter, and then the saga won't die.
Okay. Founding of the Third Path is definitely neat, and Read Ahead's cool. So I could see that be meddled with. Gadwick's First Duel is something.
Yeah, there's the end of the list.
That's the list.
Yeah. So certainly is fun with Urza Saga in particular.
Yeah.
I don't think there's too much for Owaka to actually do. Is the issue.
Basically, it's the question of, does it go in seems fun, or does it go if you really want to?
I feel like it's really want to.
Yeah, I don't think this.
I feel like it just doesn't have the actual power to go there, and it does. It's not a stand out enough build around for me to want to put it in seems fun.
Yeah, I think Goldberry is just more of a fun build around. Hey, we got Terra. Terra is
going on to everyone's favorite Alicia, Terra.
Better than Alesha.
Yep.
Better than Alesha. What can I say? I think it got legs.
Yep. I think this card is.
I think this is.
Yeah. This card is. I mean, mailing at the start of your turn is strong.
Yep.
Attacking with flying is strong. Reanimating things is strong.
Yeah. The problem.
I don't know if I'll say it properly. Yeah. Terra's biggest issue is that she fully needs to actually connect to get the reanimate.
Yeah.
Alesha having first strike means a lot of the time she can just attack, not worry about blockers. But she doesn't actually connect. You get the card just for the attack.
Your audio's
doing
a
Terra also
skipping.
I don't know. Weird.
Yep. I don't know. I'll let you know if it resurfaces.
Yep. But yeah, Terra certainly is a powerful effect. Yes. Getting free mills is strong. Especially when she does that on the turn she comes down as well.
Yep.
That's not proper advantage, but it's something.
Yeah, your audio's still.
I'm not sure she.
Around. Yeah, I don't think she's going to be like the best Mardu commander out there. But she'll be an interesting Mardu commander.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's properly has legs or the tier below that. But
I don't know.
Certainly is and certainly can I'm certainly expecting to see her.
Yeah, I think she has potential to be good, so I'll put her, it's not potential to potentially be good. It's...
Yeah. Fair enough.
Okay. We got Riku. Whenever you put one or more
Right.
counters on a creature that can't be blocked,
That creature can't be blocked. Interesting.
and you can move a counter target from a creature
Opponent
opponent
controls.
controls onto target creature you control.
Okay, yeah, he actually throbs. Biggest issue with that second ability, counters are not too prevalent.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll run into a deck that plays with them. Sometimes you'll run into Marath, something like that.
Yeah.
And that second ability can be powerful, but it is also a tap ability.
Yeah, your audio is still like skipping around, so let's try to address that.
Maybe I'll rejoin.
Okay. Yeah.
Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3.
That sounds a bit better. At least for now.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
This is such a commander pilled card. Like obviously it's in a commander
Yeah.
set, but this is like useless everywhere else.
Yeah.
I'm even gonna put this in no tier. I just don't think.
Fair enough.
I don't think there's a world in which you
Yeah,
do anything with this.
the unblockability. The unblockability isn't a strong enough effect. The steal isn't a strong enough effect and doesn't pop up enough.
And on a 3-drop, you want something good.
Especially to be mono blue.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially for a mono blue 3-drop, that's just not what you're looking for.
So, Titus. Another 3-mana commander. That's good.
Yep.
Draw card and
Bant
delivery.
is a fairly unique.
Yeah.
Yeah, the moving counters around is nice enough. It works with the second effect.
Mm-hmm.
The second effect is the real payoff. It is a little slow in that you do need to connect with creatures that have counters.
Yeah.
But it's a powerful effect when you do, especially if it's +1/+1 counters.
I think this is.
It's also worth calling out that card like Malcolm, which I believe has chorus counters, is also going to work with Titus.
Mm-hmm.
Getting some nice evasive creatures is going to be pretty good to this guy.
Yeah, I think this is in.
I think I could be convinced on Titus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see it.
Especially with Bant being a fairly unique color combination in this format, I could see it being something. Oh, I've been informed that you didn't link the stream in the Tiny Leaders form, in the announcements.
Oh no!
Is that something?
That's something I can do.
That's something I can do.
Yeah, let me do that. How should I do that? Let me, hold on. Hold on a second.
Some bit of technical difficulties. One moment, folks.
Thank you for pointing that one out.
Yeah, thanks to Mike. Second ping is all right to do as well.
Yeah, I'll do that. Also, am I sitting on a looped thing? Let's have a vibe on the tier list.
Yeah.
Okay. And when Mike said second ping, I assume that's second YouTube ping or second everybody ping?
Probably YouTube.
That's what I would assume.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Okay.
Beautiful.
I think that works. Maybe. Hopefully.
Yeah, it should be good.
Okay. Yeah. Yep. Gary, I'm sure that's definitely something we're going to be ranking, Gary. Just for you, I'll add it on. Final Fantasy in my heart. Um, so we got Shadow, the Hedgehog. Death Touch deals combat damage to a player. You can sacrifice a non-land permanent to draw 2 cards, and each opponent loses life equal to the mana value of the sacrificed permanent. Uh, I don't know.
Um,
I don't know.
yeah.
Given that we have Sephiroth in the
Three
same
mana,
set,
3/3. Yeah, 3 mana, 3/3 Death Touch isn't great. Maybe it'll connect, but drawing cards for attacking and a bit of damage. Yeah, yeah. There's a card coming up here in a while that'll. I think it's just largely a better version of this guy with
yeah,
both more colors and a stronger effect. Uh, it still works. It's still functional enough, I think, that we can throw it in if you want to.
yeah.
But there's not too much of a reason to play Shadow.
Yeah. Avalanche of Sector 7.
The number of so the power is very often going to be 0 or 1.
Hell yeah. Maybe 2.
Yeah,
But
maybe
opponent's
if you're
control
lucky.
is bad.
Activates an ability of an artifact they control, dealing 1. Sometimes you'll hit them for cracking a bauble. Maybe if they've got Ragavan, you'll hit them for playing treasure.
I don't think
It's
that's
not a good card for this format.
No.
That is definitely a commander card.
That is so bad for the format.
Yeah. In Commander, where they play like 30 artifacts,
Maybe
and this will have real killing power, maybe it'll see play there, but not here.
I'm starting to see what people think, what people are talking about the cropped, and they are correct. Hold on, I can unbork this. I see what they're talking about. Hold on. It's gonna be a bit weird looking for now. Give me a sec. See, I finally figured out what you meant. Okay. I think I unborked the cropping.
Lovely.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, what you were saying. I thought you were talking about the weird thing. There be echoes. Oh no. There be echoes. I don't. Oh, Esper's with me, Mecca.
Hello there.
Yeah. How echoey are the echoes?
I am often referred to as an echo.
Oh, I think I know why there's an echo. Hold on. Okay. Maybe this is better. I don't know. I get why there's an echo now. Okay. I think we should be better with a variety of things right now.
Lovely.
But yeah. Yes, I know it's Esper. It's on my end. It's because I'm not currently using a headset, and I have my mic next to my computer, so it's picking up on my computer audio. But I reduced the volume, and hopefully that should help.
Yep.
Okay. So, Gal Feral Youth. 2 mana, 2/2. When it attacks, put a counter on it. Beginning of each end step, the card left your graveyard. It deals damage equal to its power to each opponent. This is a worse.
So this does attack. Yeah, it does attack as a 3/3. Apart from Lelia, it is 2 mana, which is good. But it is still attacking on turn 3, like Lelia.
Yeah. It doesn't have haste, which is kind of bad, and
yeah,
the end step triggers not anything compared to Lelia. Lelia's actual card advantage. This is nothing.
If you have something like a Ghost Vacuum or a Relic of Progenitus,
maybe
I could see that triggering consistently, and that could be good because the turn it comes down, it can deal 2 if you played a Ghost Vacuum on 1. Turn after it can deal 3 plus the 3, so it'll deal 8 by its second turn if it's in optimal conditions.
Mecha, you're actually
and then
right.
4 plus 4.
He do got
that'll be 8. That's up to 16. He does have a couple of legs. He can deal decent damage, but he also needs setup, and there's so many better mono red commanders. Especially when you need to actively support it.
I'm gonna say no, just because Lelia and Inti are both better, and they do pretty much the same thing, except better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, it can technically do things with Arena, but anything can do things with Arena.
Yeah.
Strago and
Realm. It being in mono red gives it more power, but
yeah,
the card itself isn't good. Right, on to Strago and Realm.
3 mana, 1/3 with a tap ability that is 7 lines of text. 9 lines of text.
Yeah. Yeah. Jesus. So it's 6 mana to activate and a turn. Exiles card until they flip an instant sorcery or creature. You play it for free. And step sack the creature if it's a creature. Okay, so it'll be like 6 mana to get a free lightning bolt.
6 mana free lightning bolt. 6 mana lightning bolt. Let's go. And you don't even know if it's a lightning bolt. It could be a revitalize or something. I don't know. You can spend 6 mana and flip into a mental misstep and get nothing. That's note here.
This card just isn't good.
No.
This is a commander card through and through.
Yep.
It's just going to be way too much mana for a unknown effect that could be literally nothing if you flip a Bird of Paradise. That'll just die at end of turn.
So, Vincent Vengeful Atoner. Minichini, and when deals combat damage, put a counter.
He can be a 4/4 immediately. Whenever he deals combat damage. Okay, that last effect isn't popping up too much unless you're going full like mono red combat tricks.
Yeah. This is bad. Yeah. He's sizable, right? He's a 3 mana 4/4 menace, which isn't terrible. That's a fairly big body, but it's also just going to be a worse gut. Yeah, it's a worse so many things. That is also going in.
But especially as the 3 mana guy that wants to be in play before you attack, and then it does cool things sometimes.
Yeah,
it just doesn't hold up to the power level.
We have achieved Yuffie. Yuffie does not have command.
All right, we got our red ninja that can't ninja from the zone.
And then
thank God they don't put Commander Ninjutsu on other cards. It steals non-creature artifacts, which, like we've said, not really prevalent. If this jumps in and steals a Shadow Spear, It's fine, but also you can't do that from the zone.
Yep, 3 mana.
Just
3
casting this for 3 mana, and then entering steals 1 thing. Not a good card.
Not happening. Alright, we
Commander,
got
I'm sure.
Bugenhagen. Wise Elder.
Yes, Bugenhagen.
You're not
2
going to
mana,
reach
1
with
3
Power 7
reach.
Greater on your upkeep. This is a 2 mana 1
You
3
certainly aren't.
Llanowar Elf.
This is a mana dork.
I don't think you ever want a mana
This is
dork.
your 5-color. This is your 5-color mana dork, but mono green.
Yeah. No.
Doesn't seem like it's it. Doesn't seem like the one.
Alright.
I'm sure there's a much more playable mana dork out there
I am
in the
totally
zone.
certain. Maester
Yeah.
Seymour. Beginning of combat, you put a counter equal to its power on another target creature you control. Okay.
That's interesting.
But Monstrosity 5?
It's the number of counters. Okay, so that monstrosity is not going to pop up too much.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll pay 5 and give him 3 counters, and he'll start putting on more. This is mostly a commander you're going to want to play with actual buff spells.
So this is...
If you
yeah.
get something down and then cast Master Seymour and then cast Rancor,
Mm-hmm.
then it's cool and you're cooking and you're starting to throw counters at people.
But
It also seems potentially fine for main decks of other decks, but probably not the best as commander.
knowing that Tifa's in this set, this seems like one of the worst buff commanders that you could be running. Unless
Yeah.
you really like the garb, which I do respect.
Yeah, he's got the fit. He doesn't have the abilities. I think if you really want to, at
Okay.
best, is where he's gonna go.
Yeah.
Because he at least does some things, especially with a couple good buff spells,
Yeah.
but
Professor
doesn't
Hojo,
stand out too much.
It is a 2-mana specific Training Grounds effect, which is pretty cool. And it draws
Yeah.
cards. This is
It does draw a card.
great in Marath, but
Yeah.
it don't.
So that last line is like Nadu but bad.
Yeah.
If Nadu was actually templated correctly, but it's only your stuff.
Yeah, I think it's a neat card. I think it seems
And-
fun to build casually.
Yeah, this definitely is more of a casual card, but he seems interesting, especially if you do some weird equipment like the swords. Those are now going to
Yeah.
equip for, I think, 0 mana.
For
They're
0,
equipped
yeah.
too, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, like throw Professor Hojo down turn 1, equip it with some like Shuko. Turn 3, throw down Sword of Fire and Ice, equip it for free, draw another card.
Swing in.
Seems fun with the swords, especially.
Yeah, seems fun.
For our format, actually competitively, he's very fragile and not going to do much.
And in
But he's
green,
cool.
which is historically a really bad color.
And in green. Yeah.
So, we'll go there. Trommel. Seymour's Butler. Each other non-token creature enters with a counter on it. You proliferate X times, where X is the number of non-token creatures you control that entered this turn.
So that can pretty easily be 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And all your other non-tokens get a counter. It's kind of strange that he's a 3-drop, because at 3, in a lot of green decks, that's kind of the top end. But with a mana dork on 1, you play Tromel on 2. 4 mana, you play 2 or 3 guys, proliferate twice. That's a few counters.
Hear me out.
Yeah.
We did it. We broke.
You
one
can play
ballista.
Ballista. You can things.
Whoa.
So probably, I think Steam's fun. Oh, hello there, human.
Hello there.
Hello. Why is my OBS studio? It just disconnected and reconnected. Okay, it reconnected. We're good.
It broke it.
Okay. Hi, Audrey.
Hello.
All right. Thus far, given that you're a new human here, this is our list. Do you have any disagreements on this list?
I won't lie, half of these cars I don't even know what they do, but no.
Same.
Dido stuff
Before looking
seem
at
a
them,
bit
yeah.
slow for me. Yeah, Dido stuff seem a bit slow for Tide, in my opinion. And if you want to
Yeah.
play hard and scale, Marath is just straight up better.
Yeah. I mean, it seems interesting. It might maybe be good. I think willing to be convinced is the
Yeah, being in Bant
potentially
is good.
tier.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
the top two tiers are there's a world in which this is competitive. The top tier is I could see it being competitive. The second tier is it's probably not going to be competitive, but I'm sure somebody's going to try.
Yeah.
And then these two tiers are the casual tiers of like, it's a fun build around, or if you just really like this character, you could build it. And then the final tier
No,
is it doesn't work.
No.
And then no is just don't play the card as a commander. It just doesn't work. Interestingly,
Okay.
just like all of the mono red ones so far,
Yeah.
just don't
Yep.
play them.
The problem is you have to compete against Ragavan, Lelia, God.
Yeah.
So, I think Trommel is interesting. I'm gonna put it in the seems fun tier.
Yeah.
It's not competitive, obviously.
I think he
But
seems
Yeah.
fun.
it's a fun build around. It's like Kudo, except
I
worse.
wish it had World
Weirder.
1. If it had World 1, would be somewhat playable.
Any sort of protection. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we got Albert, which I am so sad is not a human because he would be
Halbert.
great in Trina.
Yep. If you cast a
So-
white spell, all your legendary creatures get vigilance and a counter. Cast a black spell, each legend gets +1/+1 counter and menace.
Legends Mother.
Especially-
Also interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you cast a white black spell, it'll put 2 counters on all your legendary creatures.
Yeah.
And there are a decent amount of playable white black spells.
Yeah.
Ketramos.
Yeah. Tetramos, Vanishing Verse, Kaya's Guile. There's a decent amount of them. The Kaya.
I don't think there's.
And there
world
are
where this
also
is
a decent
competitive.
amount.
No, this is not competitive.
But it's
at
Yeah.
all. It's a 2-4
This is not
that will
competitive.
die.
Uh,
But it's playable.
mostly that there are a lot of spells that'll trigger it. There are a lot of playable legends.
Yeah,
Seems fun.
it seems fun. Would be fun to bring to a casual Tiny Leaders game.
Yeah.
Bannon.
Yeah, Bannon.
Boros is a good start. 2 mana, also good. Once during each of your turns, you can cast a creature spell from among cards in your graveyard that were put there from anywhere other than the battlefield this turn. And whenever you attack, you can pay 1 and
Interesting.
discard a card, and then draw a card.
Seems too slow.
Also notable that it doesn't need to be Bannon attacking.
Yes. It's something.
Yeah.
Mardua, maybe for the Mardua Lesha, although not competitive
Yeah.
at all.
I think it's interesting. I think it's a fun build around. I don't think it's
It's too
ever
slow
going
for
to be
Tiny.
good.
Yeah, I don't think it stands up to the raw power of a lot of our Boros leaders.
But it seems fun.
But it being a two mana card advantage engine, it also loots to help fill the yard for things like Flage.
Yeah.
It seems functional.
Yeah.
Maybe better on the 49, in my opinion.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. All right, we got Hildebrand Manderville. Please.
Hildebrand Manderville and Gentleman's Rise.
Yeah. I think this is a fun commander. I don't think it's a good commander, but I think it's fun.
Yeah.
It's somewhat of a decent aristocrats deck.
Yeah.
Sephiroth Elder.
There's just better options.
Yeah. Because, Gentleman's Rise is not a powerful effect. And then Hildebrand himself, when he dies, specifically dies in, not exiles or anything.
Yeah.
You can cast from your graveyard, but you can only cast Gentleman's Rise and then Hildebrand.
Mm-hmm.
So to actually get him back in play, it's 5 mana. You get a 2/2 and a 3/3, which is nice.
Yeah.
He kind of just seems a little slow compared to other Orzhov options.
Yeah,
Even
I'd
discounting
say-
Luris, we've also got, discarding Ketramos, we've got like Luris and Karlov and
I will say
Sorin.
that is the best Orzhov aristocrats deck that can play Lurrus of the Cobalso because he literally is 2 mana. Hunter's Rise doesn't count.
It can Luris as a companion.
Yeah.
You can also just play Luris as the commander.
Yeah.
Yes. But Lurrus is not a good aristocrats deck, I won't lie.
I think it's fun. Probably not good.
Yeah.
Creel Baldician.
Creel
Valdez.
Baldezian.
Valdez,
Sure.
I believe.
Strange.
2 mana, 2/1,
Uh,
lifelink. When you cast a non-creature spell, you can return a creature card of mana value equal to that mana value from graveyard to hand once per turn. Interesting.
The problem is it
I
dies
don't
to
hate that
Bone
effect.
Masters. Yeah, it dies to Bone Masters is the problem in my
Yes,
opinion.
1 toughness is bad.
This card is definitely fragile, though the turn you play it, you can immediately either probe or ponder or swords
Yeah.
and immediately pick up like an Ocelot Pride or Guide of Souls.
Or Mother of Runes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be competitive. White control is always a good case,
Yeah.
like, no matter the format.
Yeah.
Yeah, doing a like blue-white tempo control kind of thing, where the commander, you can set it up to always draw a card when it enters,
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, we should.
and if it survives, it can draw a
card.
card about every turn.
Honestly,
And yeah, it being 2 mana definitely helps. I could be
I could
convinced
see it.
if a deck does well with Creel.
Yeah.
Though I'd have to learn how to pronounce their name.
I believe it's just Creel.
Okay.
These creatures
Creel
often are,
Baldezian.
yeah, they're often the pronunciation is often obvious for this kind of creatures.
Yeah.
So you got Lock.
All right,
Treasure Hunter.
Lock Treasure Hunter.
3 mana, 2/3. Pretty good evasion.
Can't be blocked.
As
It
Skulk,
can't be blocked by
essentially.
big creatures. Creatures with power greater than it. I
Skulk.
mean, it has 3 toughness, so it's not often going to actually die when attacking, which is good.
Yeah. When it
Unless they
attacks,
block
each
with
player
2
may draw a
guys.
card.
If a land was milled, make a treasure. You may play a spell from among those cards.
This is good,
Yeah,
to be honest.
that's not bad. Obviously, it needs to attack to get the trigger, but it can both make a treasure and give you a card in the turn. It's not actually certain to give you a card, kind of like Ragavan.
Yeah.
I think Laughing Jasper Flint is this, but better. In my opinion.
Yeah. Jasper Flint only gives them from your opponents. Lock can get it from your own deck.
Yeah.
But yeah, it needs to actually attack.
They both.
Flint needs to make it to your turn, which is good.
Yeah, both of them need to make it.
Uh,
Although, actually, yeah. Both of them need to make it to your turn.
Pause this turn. Yeah.
Yeah. Jasper Flint is higher upside.
Yeah,
I don't dislike Locke.
that's fair.
I think Locke seems fun.
Yeah, we'll put in seems fun.
He seems fun. I could see him probably not being meta, but I could see him popping up now and again.
Yeah. Liss Hexed is interesting. 3 mana, 2/2 prowess. Cheapifies your non-creature spells. And it sometimes have double strike.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Shu Yun of old.
Yeah, it's basically Shu Yun, but better.
It doesn't. Yeah, it hits about as hard as Shu Yun and takes less mana to get double strike, and it actually cheapens your spells. This is going to be good with Brain Surge and Stock Up. Obviously, Probe.
And 1 mana spells.
Yeah.
Like colorless. Like,
Yeah. 1 mana spells in general, opt and consider, but also 2 mana ones like Impulse.
Oh no, I meant things like
'Cause those are-
Chromatic Star, Chromatic Sphere. They are 1 mana.
Oh yeah,
So 0.
yeah, those two, yeah.
It does do that, yeah.
Yeah, it'll make some artifacts free. If you got Sensei's Divining Top in the reality chip, it's infinite.
Yeah.
We know
Yeah.
we reality.
So that's pretty minor.
The commander will be a good combo because you have Mystic Forge.
Yeah.
If you really,
I think
I think
seems
this
fun.
is a really want to because it seems. meh.
I think it seems fun. I think
Yeah.
there are
She's fun.
better white-blue spellslinger control shenanigans options. And if you want to be a Cheerios deck, run our favorite guy. What's his name?
Ram.
Our favorite
No.
guy.
He's our favorite mono blue Geralf.
Oh yeah,
The
Gerald.
Fleshright.
Yeah.
I can't say his other nickname because this is YouTube. I probably could because nobody really cares, but I won't.
Don't do it. YouTube is kind of nitpicky with those things.
So 3 mana, 2/3, and it spams zombies. Is personally, I think, better than
Yeah.
this if you want to be a Cheerios deck, and if you want to be as like a funky wonky white blue spellslinger deck. I think we already have one that is probably more interesting and better. in
Yeah.
Cheerios.
That's only once each turn for Spellslinger.
Although it can be once each turn rather than once of each of your turns, so you can do one on your turn, one on your opponent's turn, for example.
Yeah, hit him with the Spell Pierce and pick up your 1-drop.
Yeah.
True. Then you hit it with
Yeah.
your mental mistake, but pick up your spell pierce that your opponent concedes because they're salty. Muggle Warrior.
That's a lot of text.
Yeah, Mog the Moogle.
Yeah.
That's too much text.
Step, each player can discard. Oh no. Each player who discards a card draws. Creature was discarded to make a Moogle. Doesn't do anything if someone discards a land.
I think this has good
Or no,
concept
non-creature.
if you really want to, because 2 bucks decks for so little.
Yeah. I think it's like each player gets to
Yeah, it basically you're talking
loot.
now. Yeah, I think this basically reads at the
All
end
of
of
your
turn,
Moogle
discard a
get
card,
bigger.
draw a card, make a Moogle. It's really bad. Your opponent should never.
Yeah.
do this.
I'm gonna put this in
Will you-
note here. Maybe you should go in if you really want to because it's a Moogle.
I mean,
looks cute.
it makes a creature at our end step without going to the next turn.
Okay.
Mog has, but also it's just kind of a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
out here Moogling.
I'm gonna advise
I
you
need
not to play
photos.
Mog because we don't want to read it anymore.
Yes. This
Alias,
partners with a
Silent
4 mana partner.
W. Yeah, al final is 4 mana, so no. It's an awful card. It's not-
So yeah, just a 3 mana 3/2 first strike. Your second spell costs 2 less.
It's bad.
Not great. Yeah.
It's bad. Don't play it.
The dual cast just isn't a great effect. 3 mana 3/2 first strike is fine, but not for 3 mana.
If you want,
Don't play her.
if you want that effect, play Lice. And if you want Lice's effect, play Creel.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Just go up to your list, play those guys.
Papalimo.
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 2 mana 1/2. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, slaps somebody and gains you a life.
Oh, that's like the black mage text and white mage text. I guess that's the vibe.
Yeah.
You can pop Papalimo to make each opponent sack a creature. Okay, so it's removal on that side.
This is
Yeah, but it's
so
expensive.
underwhelming.
Yeah, it's like a gutter snipe, but in Orzhov for some reason.
Yeah.
And it's both a tap ability and card neutral
No.
No.
to actually kill something. Yeah.
I recommend you play a commander that is actually interesting and does anything.
I recommend you play someone better than Papalimo.
Red 8.
All right, red 13.
It's 13. I can read. I know my Roman numerals.
Yeah. Everyone knows Roman numerals.
Okay.
Your
Vigitrample.
Vig Trample, other modified against Vig Trample.
Okay.
Pick up an aura or equipment.
This seems good.
It seems interesting.
Um,
I don't know if good is what I would use to describe it, but it's interesting.
yeah, because you'd need to set up to get that last effect. Vigilance and Trample are nice keywords. It'd definitely be better if it gave haste instead of one of those, I think.
Yeah.
But I think it's a good commander for like Gruul Stompy.
I
feel like
fine.
it's kind of outclassed by just all the other options, like Clothis and Miglaws, I think is that guy.
Yeah. Miglaus.
I think it's fine, especially if you're going for more of a equipment version of Gruul.
Yeah, but then I play the
I could see it being
pupper.
fine.
the Naya Pupper.
Yeah,
Fallout.
Dogmeat.
Dog meat.
This guy.
He's so cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, dog meat also does actually like almost always hit something, given the mill 5, where red 13, you have to actually have it set up beforehand.
This is the better pupper.
As well, dog meat gives actual card advantage with its other ability, where giving vigilance and trample is nice, but yeah, it seems fun, but it's kind of outclassed by a different dog.
Yeah.
Though this is a beast warrior. Is this a person?
I-
Why is it a warrior?
We should ask
I don't know.
someone that knows more from.
But we'll have to figure that out, I guess.
But
why isn't-
he can talk?
Why isn't
I
Gal a
think
beast?
it's-
You know?
Yeah.
No, the thing is, I know Red 13 can talk. Like, he is not entirely a dog.
Oh. Okay, I guess he's like a person. Okay.
Maybe
Interesting.
he's an experiment. That's why it's 13.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
So,
Have in mind,
Setzer.
all
The
these.
gambler.
Gambler.
Let's go gambling.
Let's go gambling.
Woo.
So ETB, make a 3/3, and he's a 2/2. That's fine. Vehicle attacks, flip a coin. Win a coin flip, make 2 treasure. Okay.
This is fun.
Uh,
That's this definition.
Making two
Just
tapped
fun
treasure
this.
isn't very good.
It's fun. Let's go gambling.
Yeah, he's fun. Let's go gambling.
I
Uh,
would say Yusri's probably
Especially
better, but you know.
Blackjack and himself being legendary means you can't really get like card advantage out of him dying and play him again.
Yeah.
I don't see him doing very much.
There is a lot
But
of
let's go gambling.
Monorail
He does flip coins. I think
becomes
if you want to flip some coins, do Grark with something.
Yeah.
But
Or Yusri.
Setzer will flip some coins.
Shalinda.
Shalinda.
Shalinda. Put a counter on that if its power is less than Shalinda, or put a counter on Shalinda.
That's so boring.
Yeah, this is basically
Yeah.
the worst because you don't have red or combos.
It's so
Yeah.
boring. Don't play it. It's boring.
You can probably do some persist combos. I know there's at least 2 persist creatures in those colors, but
Don't play it. It's
I
boring.
mean, just play Safi at that point.
Play
yeah.
Safi. She's fun.
Yeah, Shalinda seems fine at best.
Urianger? Yeah, Urianger.
2 mana, 1/3. When you play a land
Ranger
exile
Augerelt?
from exile. Okay.
This guy is
The
way
type
too
of your
slow
library-
than me.
Exile it. I mean, play spells exiled with it. The spells count.
This is so common.
Oh. Okay,
You're
so you have to
foretelling a card.
play
You're doing
this
foretell
and
without
then
foretelling.
tap it to exile, and then play it by also tapping it. So this is a 3-turn thing at best. Maybe you'll sometimes get a little bit of life outside of that, but no, this guy's way too slow.
This
Especially because that is. Yeah, it's not like cards exiled by Draw Arcanium. It's cards exiled by this guy.
yes.
So if you spend your turn, especially if you want to try to take the most advantage, play Arcanum, and you stock up 2 or 3 cards, and then he just dies,
yeah.
it does nothing,
I would say
and you've done a huge time
if you
investment for
merge
nothing.
these 2 last abilities, it would be a fun card to build around. But at
Yeah.
this point,
Maybe
just
If he was
play-
just like a blue-white reality chip that plays 1 a turn,
just play Vega the Watcher.
yeah,
Yeah.
Vega's cool.
Vega's cool. This is not.
Play a bird instead of a elf.
Warring Triad. Hell yeah.
Warring Tree.
We got a colorless commander, which immediately puts it in seems fun at best. But
Yeah.
3 mana
So flying trample
haste.
haste on a 5/5 is good, but it can't attack. It's just not a creature most of the time.
It's a mana rock sometimes.
I will say
Yeah, this
blocking
is-
a creature is better than what Ketramos is, in my opinion, because it's harder to remove.
It's just
Sure.
fun. I like it.
No,
Yeah.
it not being hit by removal is nice, but also it's just a mana lith most of the time.
Yes. I think it's fun.
This is honestly, I think this is a no, but yeah,
If you, I think
this
is
just
if you
doesn't do
really want to.
anything. Yeah, this is a 3 mana lith. This should not be your commander.
Okay. Okay.
If you really want to, this seems so fun to do. But
Yeah, if you really want to, I'm sure you can.
You know what?
But
Let's put it in the if you really want to. Just to
Even-
between the two.
even getting there, it's still just a mostly vanilla creature at that point. Just French vanilla, where
Flying trample haste.
it'll beat sometimes, but
Okay.
Claudio.
Hot take.
loud.
I think Cloud. I could see Cloud being playable. I don't think it got legs, but I could be convinced. Because
I don't like his stat line. He's a
What is the
problem.
equipment it's tutoring?
because
I mean,
it
I guess
doubles
hammer.
ward triggers.
That's true.
Like you want to slap on Swiftfoot. No, what's the
Yeah, Swift boots. No, Lava.
Lava Spur
Lava
boots.
Spur. Yeah. You want to slap this on? Now it has
Yeah.
double. It has Ward 2. That's pretty cool. And a flickerable tutor is also pretty cool. And I'm sure there's some sort of equipment weird nonsense for double triggering.
I mean, I imagine the main thing Cloud would be doing is grabbing Hammer.
Probably.
Yeah, but I think you should want to go SCR Arden at that point. Because
Yeah.
it's unkillable.
I feel like this one is also just worse than other options, but its big advantage is finding Hammer, whereas your Arden equips Hammer.
Yeah.
It's whether you think you can more easily equip it or find it. And I think between Urza's Saga, Steel Shaper's Gift, Enlightened Tutor, I think there's a couple others.
I personally
It's
don't
easier
think
to
this
find it
is-
than equip it.
I personally don't think this is a hammer deck. I think this is a stacking ward and then doing some nonsense with something like, I mean, fun fact, it's actually really not bad with what is the standard legal card that people hate. The enchantment. The aura
Mention it.
that when it enters,
Sheltered by
approaches a
Ghost?
thing. Sheltered by Ghost.
Most- No, Sheltered by Ghost.
Because
Cloud is specifically equipped and not enchanted.
no, as long as it's equipped, yes. But then, as long as it's equipped, if an
Oh.
ability of Cloud,
I guess,
would
yeah.
trigger. So as long as it's
Strange.
equipped, you
As
can
long
do
as it's
whatever.
equipped. Enchant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I think,
The exile thing wouldn't double, but the ward would.
yeah.
I feel like seems fun, but I could be convinced.
Yes, I think this has potential to potentially be competitive. Maybe.
I'd be shocked if it ever becomes competitive, but it definitely seems fun.
I think someday there might be an equipment that has a busted triggered ability that when it happens twice, you just kind of win the game on the spot.
Is there any equipment that gives
Fair enough.
Annihilator in this format?
No. I think we've got like one card with Annihilator.
Annihilator, let's go.
I think we've got like a 5-color Eldrazi Lord.
Okay. Kane.
Oh yeah, abstracts. Combat damage
I
to a
don't like
player.
Pain. Returning as flying, deals combat damage. That
No,
player
this is awful.
takes him. You draw that many cards and wait. Okay, that player gains control of Kane. If they do, you draw that many cards.
This is so
Oh,
unplayable.
So he hits them for 2, you draw 2 cards and make 2 treasure and lose 2 life? Oh, but they
Yeah.
actually get Kane, and that's
Yeah.
not a give back. Okay.
Yeah.
Just trying to wrap my head around this guy.
The only way to make this guy playable is if you have Homeward Path. If you have Homeward Path, then yeah, that dude is insane because you draw 2 cards, lose 2 life. Great.
Homeward Path is, yeah.
But you're in
So
mono
there's
black.
So it's,
Homeward Path is a color.
yeah.
You can't tutor. You
So you
can't
hit
tutor
two.
for Homeward Path in mono black.
You've got the expedition map, the new backup expedition map.
And
You
yours
got
has
Tainted
to
Pact.
Tainted Pack for Homeward
There's his
Path.
cave.
You know what? How about
Tainted Pact. For,
Yeah, if you
Tainted
really
Pact for
want
Homeward Path? Let's go.
if you really want to, you can Tainted Pact for Homeward Path and then get like a sign in blood each turn that gives you treasure.
Yeah.
It's,
it's bad, but
yeah,
It's a card.
if you really want to.
a weird guy. We'll leave him there, I think.
Reno and Rude. 2 mana, 2/1 menace. And
Exile top card of that player's library. You can sack a thing. If you do, you may play the card. Yeah, that's not like good card advantage.
It's not awful,
Yeah,
but Tiny Bones is better. And it's 1 mana.
Tiny Bones is so much better.
Yeah.
Why would you? Why would you
Yeah.
play this card?
I mean,
when there's
Tiny Bones needs the permanence in graveyard, but yeah. Yeah, and Tiny Bones is a little guy.
And he's a little guy.
Yeah, Reno, I think mostly just isn't doing it.
I don't think. I don't think. you
Just
should play
doesn't have
this
a big
card.
enough of effect for the cost to be added.
You got
Yeah.
Tiny Bones. You should play Tiny Bones.
No, I think there's just much better options.
Tiny Bones.
And that is better than.
I mean, we've got our like mediocre Red Ragavan. We don't need this guy.
Sephiroth.
The time we've all been waiting for. Sephiroth.
All right. We know Sephiroth got legs. Sephiroth was cool.
Yeah, I've been doing really well with Sephiroth.
So biggest issue with Sephiroth, he is mono black.
Yes.
doesn't matter. I believe
Enters or attack, sack a creature to draw is nice. He's gonna be hard to flip.
Oh, it's almost
That's
impossible.
not-
I have flipped it twice when it mattered or when I got both off. It's impossible to flip.
And if you're
Sephiroth.
not familiar with the
Yeah.
backside, this is the backside.
Yep.
You get an emblem.
Okay, yeah.
Emblems are pretty rare.
Emblems are pretty cool.
I will say one of the few differences that Sephiroth has over any other aristocrat deck is the card advantage. That was what I was missing.
Yeah.
Also, having the trainer in the command zone means you can combo off as soon as believe to 4 with Clower,
Yeah.
Assault Raider.
He's pretty much a blood artist that can draw cards and is a 3/3,
It's
which is nice, which is good.
Yeah, but
I think he's more powerful in the main of. Yeah. I do think he's more powerful in the main of other decks. But I feel like I could be convinced. I feel like that's where it should be.
I will tell you that I'm currently
Okay.
8-2 with the deck.
You think he'll be convinced?
Yeah. I don't think he belongs in proper got legs just for being like mono black. That's such a big cost.
That's fair. Although then you get to do contamination,
But-
and that's fun.
That is fun. But
the only thing that will prevent this card from being absolute meta is Rest in Peace. That card just fully nullifies your deck.
Urza,
Although
you're really quiet.
I cannot speak really loud, people sleeping in my room.
Okay.
Huh.
Well, we'll live with it.
we can yeah. So yeah, I think Sephiroth's good there. I think he's got more potential than most of the cards on this list.
Yeah.
And he's fun.
Yeah. Carry on.
Which is always a positive for your viability in this format.
Yes.
'Cause I mean, someone's more likely to actually. All right, Furion, Wild Rose Warrior.
So
Cre-
you make more equipment
enters,
for
make
equipment.
a token copy of it. Wait. Oh, then the equipment dies. Weird. It makes like temporary clones of equipment.
That are cheaper to equip.
Yeah.
It's missing white.
This is another one that's going to be really dependent on the swords, I think. Where you can just equip those for free and then get an actual trigger. Yeah, I'm not sure how good mono red equipment will be. I feel like if you really want to, you can do something.
I don't think this is even like seems fun because I think it's just like you're gonna be sad playing this. I think just because 3 mana 3/3
Yeah.
protection is sad.
Yeah, mostly just play a Boros equipment deck
Yeah.
if you want to play red equipment.
Actually, speaking of, if you want to play red equipment, here's Freya Crescent.
No.
She's
Unplayable.
Has flying
exists.
1 mana dork.
Flag mana
Yeah.
for 1 mana in red.
Yeah. They are a rat, which is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, this probably just goes in no. Red doesn't get many mana dorks.
I'm gonna put
This
it
isn't it.
in if you really want to, because it's a 1-drop, and 1-drops are cool.
Yeah. Fair enough. The red drops are the 1-drops are often more playable than we think. I don't think it is, but no.
Hey, no?
Hey, look, it's a thing that doesn't work.
At least 4 mana spent to cast it, make a treasure. I mean, yeah, there's random red X spells, I guess.
Yeah,
you
despite
can
your
no.
mana.
play for them.
Yeah.
If you want to cast Fireball and your payoff is getting a single treasure
Yeah,
token,
go ahead.
good luck.
Look at
How
this.
many mono
Queen Bron.
are they?
Ron. Attacks make a wizard that pings prowess.
It's a 3-mana
Too
2/1.
slow?
Doesn't seem awful as an effect, but it's slow.
It's so
And
slow.
it also has to actually attack to get the trigger.
It's so slow.
I feel like this could go in if you really want to, but yeah.
I think there's so many better things you could be doing.
It's
Even if you want to go on Black
Yeah.
Wizards, I believe there are better things to do. You want to go east, I believe.
yeah, that's
I
fair.
would say from the equip commanders, this is the best one in my opinion because you can just play Redborn with some equipment.
This is true.
Attacks attach up to 2 up to 1 equipment you control target attacking creature. Yeah. No, if you ward making them pay life is nice, especially if you're a mono red aggro deck. If you've got hammer anywhere, sometimes you can just throw that at them.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
even know.
I
if
don't
this is
hate this
really
guy.
fun. I think this is if you really want a mono red hammer time.
It's
Mono
the better
red
one,
hammer.
yes.
This is the one.
Yeah. Yeah, that one's better than the ones next to it. I feel like it could go and seems fun, but like just play more colors
Yeah,
if you're trying to do
I
hammer.
don't think it really seems that fun, honestly. Like Captain America.
He's
is,
just not doing all
seems
that
fun.
much.
You know, Captain America is possibly even competitive, maybe. And Captain America does this, but better.
Yeah.
And in 3 colors.
But
So that Vaughn. Yeah.
That's a lot of types.
Scouts, pirates, and/or rogues. Those are some fairly relevant types.
if it was
Except top card of that player's library. You may cast if you don't make a treasure. Put a counter on each scout, pirate, rogue.
yeah,
There's a decent amount of scouts, pirates, and rogues. Like Broadside Bombardiers is a pirate. Ragavan's a pirate. There's some about that are good cards. Vaughn's just not doing enough to justify him over like Lelia,
I would say if you
who's
really want
mostly doing this. Yeah,
this could be a 2.
Lelia's mostly yeah. Lelia's mostly just doing more than this guy
Mm-hmm.
for
Yeah.
the same costs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially because it's you only get the counters if you cast the spell. So both
if you don't cast
you need the mana to cast it
yeah.
in the mono red deck where you're usually spending your mana before combat for haste. And if you
Okay.
flip a land, you just don't get any counters.
Yeah, not
Sounds
only
really
that,
cool.
it doesn't fix mana.
Zell
You do
Dinkt.
need- Why? Why are you playing mono
Free
red
lands. Mono red lands, I guess.
Mono
Yeah.
red land. Hell yeah.
You can do the weird like Blood Moon, play your depths, get rid of Blood Moon thing.
Yeah.
But you're a mono red,
Uh,
it's really hard to remove your own enchantments.
It is, yeah. It's not easy. And I mean, he does landfall stuff. This seems like a card designed for the like 99 of a Gruul commander deck.
It seems fun.
I
Nobody
feel like
expects-
this is, yeah, he seems interesting,
Nobody expects mono red lands.
but I really doubt no one expects mono red lands. He's not going to do much. You're not going to
No.
see him too often,
No.
but he's weird. And so that gives him something.
Also, I would just like to point out this is the amount of cards that we've already ranked, and we still have this much left.
Yep. There's just so many legends in
There's
this.
so many legends.
All right, Kina.
Cool.
If
Hey,
you
what,
make token,
Shadowfang?
make a frog, sack a
Make a
frog,
frog.
get a counter.
I
Yep,
think
worst
this
Shatterfang.
is-
Worst
This
Shatterfang.
is fun
makes frogs.
because frogs, yes.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah, I mean, frogs and squirrels are both comical creature types. But, like, why would you play Chatterfang but you make less creature tokens and you don't have black and you don't have removal? Instead, you can just buff Kina.
Because frog.
Yeah.
Duh.
Like, put Kina in the 49 of your Chatterfang deck and you're happy.
Yeah.
That's where he goes.
Tifa.
This guy's not a commander. Tifa.
It's not.
willing to
it's
be convinced.
Uh,
yeah.
got legs.
No.
Yeah.
Tifa
It's
got
not-
legs.
Tifa, I think Tifa's biggest issue is removal, right?
Yes.
If you need to both protect her, get her down on. I've seen people saying they want to get her down on turn 1.
I don't think you
If
do.
you burn resources to get Tifa down on 1, most of the time she's just going to die, and then you don't do anything until turn 4, and it's not good. If you play around turn 2, use like Spirit Guide or Petal, play a protection spell, and turn 3 you get a big power buff, fetch quadruple her power. Maybe. I don't have faith that Tifa is going to be reliable.
But I
Yeah,
think
I
she's going to
don't
be
think-
brood. And I
I
think
don't
she's
think
going to win
Sephiroth
sometimes.
will. I don't think Tifa is better than Sephiroth. Let's not lie.
I have faith in
Yeah.
Tifa. I think she's probably going to be the best mono green commander in the format.
No, that's Azusa.
I feel like she's going to be worse than Azusa, maybe.
It's going to be close.
I feel like I'd still put her in Could Be Convinced, but
Yes, it's a good.
yeah, it's not
No.
like...
It won't be.
I mean, Tifa does have legs. She's certainly
She's full of
kicking in her
legs.
arse.
And so is Terra, to be
Half of her
honest.
frame is devoted to her legs, so... Yeah.
I'm putting Tifa and got legs.
Those what? Fair enough.
Your,
Torgal.
Torgal.
Torgal?
Fine
Torgal?
hound.
Cast your first human each turn. A creature gets a counter for each dog you control.
this seems horrible. Let's not-
Strange. Yeah, double typal, and the payoff is a couple of counters.
This is...
It being a mana dork is nice.
Yeah.
And the effect isn't terrible, but it just doesn't like stand up. I feel like this goes in like, if you want to or no.
I would say no. I think this is fun in Commander and also fun
Yeah.
as a like in the
Sounds like-
99 of a werewolf deck.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it is not Tiny Leaders is not the place to build this card.
Yeah.
Baltier and Fran.
Is that Balthier and Fran? Yeah. Your vehicles get +1/+1 vision reach. Not too relevant usually. Creature vehicle crewed by him attacks. Extra combat for 3 mana.
It's
It
interesting.
doesn't untap.
Mm,
But
yeah.
it doesn't untap things.
No, wait, doesn't
It got legs, surely, because look
Or
at
yeah,
Fran.
it gives it vigilance.
It got legs because look at Fran, but the card is
Sure,
mediocre.
Yeah, especially because we don't have like many good vehicles. We don't get Essica's Chariot or
Or the Parhelion.
what was the boat?
Yeah.
What was the boat? The Sky Sovereign? Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
is it?
we just mostly don't have the vehicles to do anything with this. Even if we did, there's going to be better vehicle commanders.
Yeah.
It will sometimes give an extra combat, which is nice, but eh.
Yep. This guy. Emmett Selk.
Emit Silch Unsundered.
What the fuck?
Ends
does
her
he
attacks,
do
draw
on
a
the
discard.
backside?
Pretty nice. On the backsides, he is Hades, Sorcerer of Eld, a 6/6 avatar with vigilance. You can play cards from your graveyard during your turn. If a card or token would be put in your graveyard from anywhere, exile it.
It seems good. Let's not lie. That's
Yeah,
bad.
it's like a Yawgmoth's
The-
Will on the other side, right? If you flip it to Hades, you can cast out your graveyard. He has vigilance and is a massive beater. On the backside, he's very good and is going to win games if it happens. On the front side, vigilance, ETB, or attack, draw discard is fine, but not really enough to play a 3-mana 2/4.
The only problem is
And the big thing is flipping him's cost is 14. 14 cards.
we need to ask if this glimpse is sorcery. If the if clause means if there are not enough cards, if this ability triggers it anyways. Because if Glade was instant, you could like glimpse yourself on your upkeep and transform him.
No, it's in your upkeep. This is a conditional if trigger.
Yeah.
It only triggers if there are 14 or more.
So
So you'd have to like
Maybe?
actually get up to 14 in their end step.
I think they seem
seems
fun.
fun.
Yeah, definitely seems like an interesting build around.
I don't think
Definitely not going to be properly competitive.
Yeah.
The cost is
Yeah.
way too high to actually get there.
I do think
But
it-
if
it's
you-
better have a treachless stretch deck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Than
but
Satoru.
it's not going to be like embarrassing on the front. It's just like a reasonably sized body that loots.
Yeah.
And if it does flip, you actually just like win the game on the spot usually because you've got at least 14 in your graveyard.
And a 16s. It doesn't work.
Emperor of Palmyra.
Doesn't work.
Yeah, no.
Doesn't work.
If you're just it's not a good enough fireball payoff for you to play fireball.
X-Death.
I mean, it transforms into the Lord Master of Hell, which is fun.
Yeah.
All right,
Oh, yeah.
X-Death and Neo X-Death.
I will
Uh.
put this at minimum if you really want to, because this is the final boss of one of the best Final Fantasy games. So people are going to play this even if it's bad.
Okay.
So
It's
a
not
3-mana
bad, though.
3/3 that gains 3 life, not terrible. Just enters and does something against like aggro. End step trigger is good. 6 permanents in graveyard is not that hard. That's
No, not
just
really.
that's just
Get a little
threshold.
annoying. Yeah.
This seems fun
Yeah.
actually.
And then he's fairly sizable.
Yeah.
I
I mean, dies to lightning bolt in both forms, right?
That
Yeah.
seems fun.
And he loses to graveyard hate. He's not great, but I could see it, especially if you're playing against a more kind of aggro deck,
Yeah.
where he just enters, gains 3, and then can punch above his weight class.
Yeah.
All
Garland.
right, Garland. So he's got the DRC text, which is
Yeah.
good. I mean, a
What
2-mana 3/2 DRC in the command zone, but worse. That's fine as a front.
That's a bad pack
And
size.
chaos.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's so
If
bad.
your
Why-
payoff is 7 mana just to make him a 5/5 flyer.
I don't
He
like
just
this
becomes a
card.
French vanilla creature.
No.
I don't
yeah.
like this
His
card. Don't
his
play
biggest
it.
upside is just being a DRC in the command zone.
But even
but
that,
not
there are better
even.
DRCs in the command zone.
Yeah.
Garnet.
Alright, Garnet. Text, remove a lore counter from any number of sagas, put a counter on Garnet for each counter removed. So this is like those blue ones we were seeing earlier that just do saga stuff, but
Yeah.
a bit better. Because there are a few more playable sagas in green-white. Still not too many because we just don't. Just lore.
You might want to fetch up Saga instead of Lore.
Yeah, that's not.
I didn't remember what their name was. I just knew they had lore.
I do think Garnet's probably better than Satsuki.
You think Garnet's
Yes.
probably better because removing counters is better?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Removing is better than that.
Removing counters is stronger than speeding up sagas because it actually gives more value than you would have gotten.
Let's say seems fun.
It doesn't have the death trigger that Satsuki has. It seems fun. It's going to be a green-white build around.
Also,
Obviously, they need to attack to do anything. They're really fragile, but 2 mana.
Yeah.
I could see them
Saga is
showing
good
up.
in that deck.
And yeah, Urza Saga, of course. The classic.
Yacht.
Glot. Glot.
King of Dwarves.
Yacht.
Double strike. It or another dwarf, which there are basically none of. Enters, and whenever equipment enters, discard to draw.
There are a lot of doors in Tiny. Magda is a good deck. But
True,
Magda is
Magda's
better than
around.
this.
There's
Magda's
not
good.
many like playable dwarves.
He seems fun. I like
They
him.
they only play them in Magda because Magda. Yeah,
I like their vibe.
especially just equipment entering.
Yeah.
Having double strike is nice for a Boros equipment deck.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's better Boros equipment commanders, but
But
you know they do the thing. They're a dwarf. They're funny.
like I think, admittedly,
You
I
can-
think
you
DePaul
can
is
slam
probably
Glot.
better as a dwarf commander. But you know,
Oh, if you're doing dwarf type, well, yeah.
If you're doing dwarf, you go Magda. Magda is just better.
Yeah.
but you know, he's a little guy, so
Yeah. All right, Golbez.
I like Golbez.
This is our guy.
I don't think he's particularly
Yeah.
competitive, but I think he's your best.
Yeah, I believe besides Emery, it's probably the best artifact decks in Tiny. I wouldn't be convinced that this is a good card though.
Yeah, so artifacts entering is really easy, right? Attaching a surveil to all your baubles
mhm.
and turning your Seat of the Synod into a surveil land. That's obviously really good. Surveilling one just consistently is very nice on a 2-drop. As well, he doesn't die to bolts. And having 4 or more artifacts in a deck kind of built for that is really easy.
Yeah,
It just gets a card every turn in your end step.
I think this
Yeah.
is.
The 8 or more artifacts is a bit hard. And when you get there, unless you're picking up Barrogoyf, it'll only be a couple.
I'm willing to be convinced on.
I
it.
feel like this.
Yeah.
I feel like this guy could even be up and got legs. I feel like this guy's about as good as Tifa.
You think so? Okay. Okay.
To be honest, I don't believe
He's-
this should be on God legs, in my opinion.
But I think Golbez is definitely up there as one of the better commanders in this set.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think he's got potential.
yeah, I think top 5 is Terra, the 5 mana Terra, the 5 colors Terra, Tifa, Geralt, and Sephiroth. That's probably top 5, unless I'm missing something
Right.
obvious. Oh, Vivi.
Who's that guy?
Oh,
Hope.
Hope is time.
Instead, each opponent mills X or X the life you gained. Not good.
I don't like it.
Isn't there
Yeah.
a 3 mana commander that does something similar? One of the twin brothers of.
Yeah, Will Scion of Peace. Gonna be at the bottom.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
A lot of Wills out there.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
wells out there. I like this
Yeah,
guy more.
yeah.
He's cooler.
Yeah. Because they
Yeah.
get Sphinx
I think
Revelation for.
He's worse.
Yeah, especially, I mean, milling an opponent is not good in this format. Graveyards are pretty consistently used.
Yeah.
If you mill me with this person, I'm happy about it.
Yeah.
Unless you made the last card, yeah, that doesn't matter.
Play a better mill commander, play a better life gain commander.
Yeah. Alright, Ignis Scientia. Go top 6, put a land on battlefield. Alright, Simic Ramp. Come up with a new recipe, exile card from a graveyard. Alright, Simic Ramp with Graveyard Hate. Very mediocre.
It's clearly Uro. This is totally what Uro does.
This is Uro.
We missed you, Uro.
Yeah, so just don't play this. Play Canada or something.
Yeah, don't play it.
This is just a no.
No.
This just doesn't do anything.
Ramp, play Slugwork. If you want to play some bullshit, just play Keenan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, Joshua. Remember that this card wasn't
Error Breaker is good.
Yeah. Get your loots.
This card seems good, not gonna lie. It's a bit expensive.
Yeah.
It's too expensive.
So it's yeah. A 3-mana 3/4 that discard 2, draw 2. Not bad. That's functional. 5 mana flip him. He deals well, he has lifelink on the back, so it's drain them for 2, drain them for 2, hit them for 4, gain 4. Right?
Yeah, it's fun.
Which is still mostly less than Flage. And then it can reanimate ties on the final chapter if it lives. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's
not gonna be properly good, especially if you spend 5 to flip him and then he just dies.
Yeah,
Especially because he doesn't give card advantage outside of chapter 3. Yeah, it's mostly just a worse Flage.
Yeah.
Or even
Especially because its actual card advantage mode is also out of the graveyard. So yeah, seems fun. Mostly not.
No. That's
No.
Judge Magister Gabranth. Creature artifact dies, put a counter on him. Yeah, very mediocre at best.
Lightning's cool.
It's not particularly. Yeah, it's.
I'm willing to be convinced that Glenn is good. I don't think it's better than Yoshi-Rogue.
No, I don't.
Play.
Yeah. I'm willing to do this, though.
First strike on that.
Oh,
Yeah, first strike on that card is nice because then all your other
6/1,
creatures that turn are also
6/1.
dealing double. Yeah, it mostly seems fun.
I'm willing to be convinced because double lightning bolts is good.
And those trample.
Yeah,
That's
No,
something that we think
first
about.
first strike lifelink is really nice as keywords together. That's just gonna help you out a lot against mostly the mirror
Yeah, I could see it.
against other Boros decks. Yeah, I think it's still mostly gonna be worse than Yoshi Rog or
Yeah.
Flage, but
Yep.
it's about.
Hey, look. Don't play this.
All right, the other
No.
lock. Yeah, don't play this.
Don't play this.
3 mana Death Touch lifelink that loots is just not good enough. You
For-
can play.
yeah.
I think there was a 2-mana card from Bloomborough, Shoreline Looter, that just can't be blocked and also loots.
Yeah.
So you can just play Malcolm,
Rufus.
who's just a 2-mana flash that also loots.
You ever wanted your
Yeah.
commander to be a 3-mana 2/4 that swings to create a 2/2 once?
But dog. Reminder that dog.
No. It's bad. Don't play this.
See, Darkstar can block every turn.
Yeah, I guess, technically.
You just jump Darkstar and then make another one. Yeah, it's not good.
This is
This
cool.
All right, Rydia.
I don't think it's good. But it's
Land
fun.
enters, discard, draw, do saga things.
I
Yeah,
think if you really want to, you might.
it can recur as a saga once.
I think it's fun. I think it's a cool build around. And a more
I'd probably put it in if you really want to, just because they're actual good Boros commanders.
okay.
But landfall loot is or landfall rummage isn't a terrible effect.
Okay. What is the deal with Sarah?
All right, Sarah Farron. 2 or more other legendary. Okay, so it's legends. First legend costs less. If you have legendary creatures,
Huh.
it makes legend bigger and also she also becomes not a creature.
That is an upside not being a creature.
Yeah, that's actually not bad. It's 3 mana.
Not for a green-white aggro deck.
Yeah, it's not. I think it seems fun. I think this is a fun build around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Precious Mothers is always
I think
fun.
Yeah, like you can play Big Thalia. There's probably some other random like
Yeah,
2 and a
like,
colored
You know, you can spam Yogi and
hefty,
stuff and
decent ones.
just get a bunch of things that people need to deal with, and then
After you get Mother of Runes and all those.
yeah,
Seems fun.
yeah, it seems fun.
Don't imagine it seeing too much play, but
Shantoto.
No.
Bad. Don't play
it
it.
doesn't work.
Don't
Sometimes we'll. Yeah, your Fireball payoff is just draw a card now.
Terra.
This is a really good commander. Yeah.
Got
This is
legs.
the one. Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
the commander. I'm scooching.
So
it back
it's
got legs.
Yeah.
so
Second
being
best
a
giant commander.
3 mana 4/2 is nice, and it picks up a card if you play enough enchantments.
Yeah.
I think this is mostly going to be a food chain commander.
Or a bridge commander. Or
Also,
both.
if you're wondering why we care about this,
is her back face.
yes.
Now,
the
we're
back
not
face,
actually planning on flipping her too much,
but it's a 5-color commander.
but she does be a 5-color commander.
So, 5-color commander, generally good.
5-color commander has more legs than usual.
Yep.
Yeah. Go grab one of the combo pieces.
Yeah.
Can do the thing. I'm not properly sure if she should belong in Got Legs or Could Be Convinced. Given the sheer power of other 5-color commanders. But
it's a really scary commander because you can flicker it.
Yeah.
I will tell you, the couple times I played against it,
Turbo
it felt like
is good.
it could combo at any point.
yeah, Finding Breach is good. I'll give you that.
Titus.
Uh,
Don't play this card.
Titus
Yeah, 2/1.
Blitzball Star.
Dice to
The
one
3 mana 2/1.
Don't play it.
Yeah.
If you really
Artifact
want to
enters, put a
ease
counter on it.
triggers, have in mind that.
Yeah. No, the 3 mana Ingenious Smith is not what that doesn't get a card, isn't what you need.
Vivi.
VV Orniter. Scary.
Scary.
Got legs.
I think she got legs.
Yeah, I think. it's
Yeah,
probably
I'm
second
not
best
sure if
commander.
VV's better than Ral.
But I think people are certainly gonna
VV
try.
definite. Yeah. VV gives mana where Ral gives a win con and mana. I guess VV does damage each opponent, but you need like full Grape Shot mana for that. Or just Grape Shot Storm. But yeah, definitely makes a lot of mana if you're doing the actual Storm.
Wandering Minstrel seems fun. Other than that, it's not competitive in the slightest.
Yeah.
But five color.
This is just 5-color Amulet.
Yeah.
But we don't get Titan or Scape Shift.
Don't worry about it. I'm sure somebody's gonna build it.
You're not going to have 5 or more towns unless you're doing something really weird,
It's
which
fun.
you shouldn't be
It's
doing
fun, it's
with this
fun.
guy.
2-mana commander. You can do whatever you want with a 2-mana
yeah.
commander out in 5
Yeah,
colors.
seems fun.
This guy looks cool, but sucks.
All the way up top. Adalbert Steiner. Yeah, not good.
Not good. Don't play this.
It can be kind of sizable if you've got a lot of equipment lying around.
Hey, look.
But
It's a thing
yeah,
that's not
it's a
good.
lot of setup.
Don't play it.
Snowvilliers.
Hey, look, it's a Moogle.
Snowvilliers. Oh yeah, he's just not good.
That's also not good.
Hey, the Moogle.
I think
Yeah,
it
just
goes
don't
into if
give.
you really want to, because it's a Moogle. Moogles cannot put it if you really want to. It's a Moogle.
It's a
That's the
Moogle.
thing.
Say now.
I mean, just giving your opponents your permanence isn't good.
Maybe it's like
Still,
maybe
9 left
there's
combos.
bad
Don't worry.
permanents. I don't know.
you give them. I think I played Zedru a long time ago. There's like
Yeah, there's
Steel Golem or something. It says you can't play creatures
Yeah.
as a 3-drop.
there
It's
is-
not good, to be clear.
What is
In
there?
9 life.
There's a cycle of cards that make it so that things cost like a colored mana more to cast.
Alabaster Leech.
Oh, this is white spells. Okay.
Yeah.
That
And that's
does-
the only one you can play.
Yeah.
No,
It
you
exists. I don't
get
know.
a 9 life. You get a 9 life, you give it to your opponent and somehow destroy it. And you win.
Yeah.
Venet.
All right.
Oh,
Go.
why is there so many?
Venet.
30 for
Castle
there's a
of
card.
Draw. That's not
7
terrible.
Mana.
No.
Into 4/4.
It's indestructible.
I think that.
It is indestructible.
7 mana.
And the front side is destructible.
I wouldn't play Venet.
Yeah, you're not going to flip this very often. The
think
biggest thing
it's
is the
really
3-mana
built around.
3/3 that it can
I
draw
think
cards fairly consistently.
That was in a
I
shot,
feel like I put this in if you really want to.
Okay.
If you're a really big fan of Venet, Mono White Legends is like perfectly
Yeah.
playable,
I
right?
could see it.
You
Yeah.
get Flowering White Tree, you get Yoshi. This is like the card draw version of that, so it's a bit, longer.
Aerith.
And you can play Steel Skins.
Aerith, that's a character.
Yeah. She does combo
Life.
with Walking Ballista.
She does the soul-
and
Does the Soul Sister thing.
and if you slap Walking Ballista's ability on her with Agatha's Soul Cauldron, she does combo off.
Yeah.
Which is a
That
thing.
dies, but counter on each legendary creature control.
You should
Yeah.
I
probably
think
just play Heliod,
This
but,
definitely
you know.
seems a lot. Yeah,
I think
this seems a lot more like a 49 card for a Soul Sisters deck.
Yes.
I think
But,
this is a card similar to Mogos. People really love Aerith.
Okay.
Spoiler alert for a game that is
Yeah, I
20
think
years
this is
old,
this is
Aerith
it if you
has
really want
people
to.
still hurt about.
It's you certainly can play Aerith. It's not going to be good, but it's not going to be terrible.
Zach Fair. Interesting in the 49
Right.
of some
Zach
decks, maybe.
Fair.
Why would you play this as your commander?
Yeah, I could see it in some Yoshi deck. Yeah, this just should not be your commander.
Yeah, don't play it as your commander.
This is a protection card. I guess you can
The reason
put an
why I
equipment that was
play
on him on another guy.
the reason why I play
Yeah.
Arena is that it's all creatures and also in 2 colors.
Yeah. Yeah, like
And
you
Exile
play
for
Zach
Future.
Fair in the main of a random Luris deck. He's
Yeah.
not your commander.
Go-Go! I like Go-Go. It's interesting. Seems fun. Not
Seems
too-
Yeah.
too expensive.
Seems fun. Doesn't seem good at all.
Yes. Seems fun. I would play it
Yeah.
if you like the nonsense it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably it
There's
has
that
some
lightning.
combos. Yeah, other lightning.
Combat, flip the top card and play it for as long as you control lightning.
This is
Worse Lelia.
not better.
Yeah.
Worse lightning.
Imagine if Lelia was worse.
Imagine Lelia, but worse.
The problem
Imagine if Lelia
If you really want.
didn't have haste and didn't grow.
If you really want to play Lightning, I guess you could. It's like, yes, it's strictly worse Lelia. However, it's still not terrible. It's just pretty bad,
Yeah.
you know.
Also, I
Yeah, it's
believe
just not
this
gonna
one
be
is
good.
the one of the exceptions that if he dies and comes back, you can still play the card. Or it's not.
No.
Oh, yeah, no, it's tied to the actual card.
Mm.
It would the templating for that would be like if you control a card named Lightning Security Sergeant, or a
Okay.
card exiled this way.
So it's bounce on a creature,
So,
and for 5
3 mana
mana,
normal.
you... It's fun.
No. It's bad.
It's not very good,
Yeah.
no. It's fun, I think.
It returns a thing to its owner's hand. Can't be blocked. Yeah. It's not good.
Let's put it in if
If
you
it-
really want to.
think-
Like,
Yeah, I agree.
Counter on your opponent's stance, it will be decent.
Ambrosia,
Yeah, like
Be
don't play this.
the
Unless you want to play
Chocobo,
a funny little bird.
yeah. I can definitely see this in the 49 of a deck.
Not as
That
a
shouldn't
commander.
be your commander.
Don't play it as your commander. Matoya.
Yeah.
That's a good ability. It's mono blue,
Warriors of
which
Veil, draw a card.
hurts it a lot. So I don't
I-
think this
yeah,
is compatible,
if this
but
was-
I'm willing to be convinced.
Yeah, it seems fun. If it was 2-color and you could like immediately go grab a surveil land,
Oh yeah, for sure.
if we had the red,
or
it
you
would be
immediately drop a
same
temple. I
with
guess you can play the
Dusty.
lowest ones, but
I could see a world in which this somehow does.
yeah, if
something.
this was Izzet or Demir, yeah, I'm not willing to be convinced. I feel like it should be and seems fun at best, but yeah. Just being mono blue, it's not a powerful enough effect to justify not having real removal.
Yeah, but 1/4 is not nothing. You know, that can't be bolted.
1/4 does dodge bolt.
Yeah, but I don't think
That
that
is
is
true.
better than Malcolm. That's the thing.
It's
Yeah.
probably not better than
I
Malcolm.
feel like it's not powerful enough for the tier, but
Okay. We'll put it in. Seems fun. Okay.
Kestis.
Hey,
So this is a mono blue Halo Forager.
Yes.
It notably can steal their cards from their graveyard.
This is
So
true.
it's kind of a mono blue deck that can sometimes cast Lightning Bolt.
If you really want to.
Uh,
It's not a terrible effect.
If you really want to,
But-
yeah. It's not good.
Yeah.
You're still stuck in mono blue. Just play Malcolm instead. But
If you love
it's
that character,
around.
I mean, I guess.
Right, Ash.
no.
The top 5, reveal an artifact, put in hand. Yeah,
That is too slow.
I mean, that doesn't really do enough.
That doesn't do anything.
Yeah, I mean, it gives card advantage, it gives like an impulse,
Maybe if you really
but it's not
want
going to be as. Yeah, it's not going to be as strong as Oswald or, who's that person Sarah liked? The,
Oh, yeah.
Sandwell.
The Sandwell.
Sandwell Avenger Ace.
This is that card, but better. By a long
Yeah.
shot.
Because it
Yeah, just play Sandwell
one
instead.
more card.
Yeah.
This will also just immediately look 6 deep for an artifact.
Yes.
It just kind of does it better.
But if you really
It
want
has
this,
other
if you love this
text.
commander, I guess it does something.
Yeah.
You got a funny octopus thing that doesn't work. Don't play this.
Yeah, just Ultros just... Yeah, if 8 mana was spent to
Don't
cast
play
it.
it.
Wow. Yeah, don't play Ultros.
Cecil! I'm willing to be convinced on Cecil.
Cecil! Alrighty. Orzhov aggro.
Yep.
Cecil is a 2 mana 2/3 death touch. It hurts you to punch with it, but if your life total's low, he becomes a 4/4 lifelink.
This is the most.
That also
pushed
gives your
one
other
drop
guys
I've seen in a
indestructible.
while.
I will say
Yeah.
it has the backdoor that it deals damage. So even if
Yeah.
it gets blocked, you
Yes.
take the damage.
I
I
could
don't
see
know.
this
But that
doing
just
something.
doesn't even matter because you're generally, if you're playing Cecil, you're going to be the more aggressive deck because you're
Yes.
choosing not to play a more mid-range commander because there's a lot of those in Orzhov. You're just you're going to be able to just get a 4/4 lifelink, which is really annoying to deal with,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll put your life total back up pretty high pretty quick.
Yeah.
We've seen from Ketramos that a 4/4 lifelink is pretty good.
Yep.
It gains you a lot of life.
The Fang doesn't work when it's 4 mana.
The meld doesn't happen.
Yeah, one more card.
But like,
Yeah. No meld. One or more
that's
cards leave your
alright.
graveyard, you draw.
Yeah.
So imagine if Ketramos, right? Except
Imagine
it didn't
Ketramos.
work with most things, and also was mono black, and also died to lightning bolts.
Yeah.
Imagine
no
if
tier or if you
Ketramos
really
was just
want
like
to?
really bad.
If you really want to, I think.
If you really want to, they're
Yeah.
like, it's still a fine effect.
Yeah.
There's just a much, much better card that has the same exact effect.
So is this the tier list?
I'm still not convinced that Sephiroth is worse than Tifa. I'm just saying that.
So you think Sephiroth is? I think Sephiroth is worth being willing to be convinced.
The thing is, I believe Sephiroth is better than
No,
Tifa.
I think Urza wants Tifa down a tier.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
we want
think,
Golbez
Yeah,
down
I'm
a tier
fine
as
either
well?
way on that.
Golbez seems like
I think
probably
Golbez.
the best
I think
artifact
Golbez could be
commander
good.
ever. Yeah.
Okay.
Besides Henry. But Henry is not like Henry has the problem that has to be unplayable in the format.
Yeah.
So this is our list.
Golbez gets to play Baleful Strikes.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with this.
Okay.
I think all the cards are right around where they should be, at least.
How do
I
I?
think we've identified the strongest couple commanders.
Yeah.
With Cecil and Tifa being the main ones, and
Oh.
Willing that could go up. Oh, well, that doesn't seem right.
Yeah. How do I? How do I
yeah.
screenshot this without leaving out the two guys down here?
A control.
Is there a way to export?
A control and the.
Oh yeah, you can save for download.
Here, wait. Scroll up.
No, that's it.
Yeah.
Download the image. Sure. It doesn't need a name.
Yeah, we know what this is.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, that's been our council tier list for the infinite commanders from Final Fantasy.
Yeah. 87 of them.
I think these are more commanders. I don't know what you're talking about.
A perfectly reasonable amount. And all of them are playable. We don't have so many of them down and just no.
Yeah. Don't worry about
I
it.
know. Most of them aren't in the bottom two tiers. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
Yeah.
I would say having around what is half of the commanders being playable, and we believe like 10 or so are actually
Yeah.
good.
No, having as many as we do and seems fun and above is good. There's a decent amount of actual reasonably playable cards in this set,
Yeah.
especially
I'm definitely
those
going to continue
top.
with Sephiroth. Sephiroth is a really fun
Yeah.
commander.
I'm definitely going to be playing some Golbez here pretty soon.
Hell yeah.
Guy, that's my guy. That's my guy right there.
Yeah.
Ready to see if I can hit that 8 artifacts. I'll be
Yeah.
seeing everyone around.
I
And
think we really.
I'll see you. Yeah.
What's the name of the good Tesseract? The Master of the Bridge, I believe it is.
Yeah, I think there's multiple good Tesserets.
Yeah, that's the one that has the similar ability.
Yeah. Master